Today at Petrochemical Strategies, Pyrolysis Maniac Part 1. In the first of a two-part series, I'll explain how mixed plastic waste can be converted into petrochemical feedstocks and ultimately into new products. It's the 14th day of April in the year 2021. If you tuned in today to learn how to make my world-famous Brazilian spice rub salmon, which I think you would thoroughly enjoy, you are totally out of luck. But before you change the channel, stay tuned because I'm going to talk about turning this, which a typical plastic which would end up in a landfill or potentially in the ocean, into a petrochemical feedstock by a process called pyrolysis. But before we begin, let's start with the basics. There are 7 classifications for plastics. You can tell them by the symbol, which helps you understand how they may be recycled. First, number 1 plastics are polyethylene terephthalate polymers, or more commonly known as PET or PETE. PET is used to make everything from single-use water bottles to carpet fibers. PET is commonly mechanically recycled to polyester fibers. Number 2 plastics are high-density polyethylene polymers. HDPE, as it's called, is used for more durable single-use packaging such as milk jugs or bleach bottles. By the way, it's never safe to reuse an HDPE bottle for food or drink if it did not originally contain food or drink. Number 3 plastics are polyvinyl chloride polymers, or PVC. PVC is used in durable products like plumbing pipes, so it's not typically recycled. Number 4 plastics are low-density polyethylene, or LDPE. LDPE is ideal for films because it's durable and flexible, although items such as cling films and grocery bags are less commonly recycled and have the additional complexity as they are often contaminated by the materials they touch. Number 5 plastics are polypropylene polymers. Polypropylene is stronger than its counterpart polyethylene, which explains why it's used to make everything from plastic bottle caps to lunch buckets. Number 6 plastics are styrene polymers, or polystyrene. Polystyrene can be used to make single-use items like disposable forks and knives, or it can be expanded to make foams which can be used in single-use insulated cups or packing foam. Number 7 plastics are all those plastics not covered in 1 through 6. They include things like polymethyl methacrylates, which are also known as melamine, polycarbonates, which go into things like eyeglass lenses and baby bottles, and acrylonitrile butadiene styrene, which is more commonly called ABS and is well known to plumbers. These plastics can be difficult to recycle. One way plastics can be recycled is to heat them in an oxygen-free environment to break the chemical bonds down without burning the plastic. This is called pyrolysis. Let me explain how this works. This chart shows the basic structure of 3 polymers: polyethylene, polypropylene, and polystyrene. I'm going to come back to this chart in a second, but first I'm going to take some mixed plastic waste and put them into my pot. So let me go over to my reaction chamber and start adding waste plastics to start the pyrolysis process. The first item I'm going to add is a used water bottle. Next, I have several cups from a popular coffee shop. Next item is a shampoo bottle, mostly clean, and its lid. Here we have a mostly empty mouthwash bottle. Follow that up with another shampoo bottle and a drink bottle. And here's a container that held some cleaning supplies, and of course the lid that went along with it. And finally, I have a tray that I believe once held tomatoes, empty bottle of mustard, and finally 1 small water bottle. Let's put the lid back on and we can start the pyrolysis process. As the mixed plastics in this pot here start to heat up gradually in the absence of oxygen, let me explain to you graphically what is going on. Let's go back to the chart I showed you of the 3 polymers: polyethylene, polypropylene, and polystyrene. This shows what happens over time when these waste plastics are heated in an inert environment. Eventually, the carbon bonds start to break down, creating smaller and smaller chains. In the pyrolysis process, when the chains get to a certain size, say between 8 and 9 carbons, they are removed from the reactor through a simple distillation. This results in a very narrow boiling range hydrocarbon that resembles something like gasoline or diesel fuel, and which is suitable as a petrochemical feedstock or to be blended into road fuels. This process is going to take a little bit of time, so let me wrap up part 1 of Pyrolysis Maniac by showing you a little bit of data from the EPA. Plastic information contained in this chart is from the American Chemistry Council and the National Association for PET Container Resources. You can clearly see that in 2018, which is the last year data is available, that we generated over 35 million tons of plastics in the United States, with the vast majority, over 75%, ending up in landfills. I believe we can all do a better job of eliminating or reducing our use of single-use plastics. However, they're not going to go away completely because they provide an important role in keeping our food safe and keeping medical equipment sterilized, for example. And the durable plastics are important for moving clean water around. They help make our cars and airplanes lighter, consequently more fuel efficient. And they're also used in medical applications such as prosthetic limbs. So pyrolysis may not be the perfect technology, but it can help reduce the amount of plastics that end up in landfills or even in the ocean. So stay tuned for part 2 of Pyrolysis Maniac when I talk about the challenges facing pyrolysis and some of the alternatives. Thank you for watching today, and I'll see you next time.